Well, just picked up my seed for the year from Real World. Just unloaded Real World's Northern blend of soybean. And I actually planted it this year. I was really happy with it. And let's go take a walk out back here on my property and I'll show you exactly why I planted that this year, why I was happy with it, and why I'm going to plant it again. All right, so we're on my property and we're here at my destination food source. So this is the biggest food plot by far on my property. It's about 4 acres and it's divided by a stone wall. And I have 2 acres on each side of this stone wall. So on this top 2 acres, I actually planted forage beans. And on the bottom side, I planted Real World's, their Northern blend of beans, which I just talked about. And there's some obvious differences between forage beans and the Real World beans. The Real World beans are great, I think, all around. The forage beans do really well in the early season. They produce a lot of green forage, but so does the Real World. But the forage beans just don't have anywhere close to the pod production that the Real World's do. And I'm going to show you right here. You probably already saw, but most of these pods are gone on this upper 2 acres. It's tough to find them. I did find a couple here. If you look, these pods are really underdeveloped. Because a forage bean just doesn't put much of its energy into pod production because it puts it all into green regrowth. And if you look right here, these actual beans in the pods are really kind of underdeveloped and small. So these forage beans, awesome early in the year when they still have green leaves on them, comparable to the Real World for early season attraction. But for late season and pods, they don't even compete. So we're gonna go down to the 2 acres I have in Real World and we'll show you what I'm talking about and why I'm gonna plant these again this year. So we're down at the other half of the food plot now. First thing I notice is this place is littered with tracks. It's just covered. They're digging into the snow, there's just tracks everywhere. Not so much on the top side. So that just shows you the attraction level between the two. And I'm gonna go down and if you look, I mean, this whole field's just loaded with pods. Obviously the area closest to the woods is browsed down more, but the far side of the plot still has plenty of food on it and it's mid-March here in New Hampshire. All right, so as you can see here, these stalks are loaded with beans. One thing that's really encouraging is, for the most part, none of these pods have shattered. They have much more developed beans than the forage bean pods, as you can see right there. Sometimes, all of them have 3, sometimes 4 pods. So this is actually pretty impressive. Little history on this food plot. When I bought this property, it was all timber. There was no tillable land on it, no tillable acres whatsoever. So this field, this 4 acres, was actually mature timber 2 years ago. This is the first year I've planted beans here, the second year it's been planted. And we actually had the driest summer and growing season that we've had in a long time, recent memory here in New Hampshire, this past growing season. And this plant has 91 pods on it. That's pretty good for the Northeast for a short growing season, for poor soils and for a drought year. So yeah, I just can't say enough about the production of this Northern blend from Real World for me up here in New Hampshire. It's just been awesome and it's invaluable to have this type of food this late in the year. Well, just as I suspected, I got down to this edge where these deer usually come out of and I can see about 10 different trails coming to these beans. You might be able to tell, but the beans look a lot different down here where they've been kind of staging up on the edge. Pods are cleared out for the most part. But it just goes to show you that our hammering this plot, but these Real World beans put on so much food and so many pods they can't eat it down. It's just so much food. So it's really good to see. If you like turkey hunting and turkeys on your property, the turkeys have been here all the time. There's been like a flock of 30 birds in here too. So I mean, this has been the hub for the deer and turkey for the area. And I'm just really blown away by the amount of activity it's getting down here. We have a really low deer density for there to be this many tracks here in the last week is saying something. So pretty neat. This is exactly why I'll be planting these same beans this year and hopefully have similar results in 2017.